In 2011, there were 17 African-American head coaches in FBS. Why has there been no progress in the last decade? Worse, why has there been regression? Why are some conferences, like the Pac-12, where 5 head coaches were African-American at the start of the season, successfully diversifying, but most others are not? Of the 65 Power 5 programs, only 8 have black head coaches. In the 10-team Big 12, there are no black head coaches. In the 14-team SEC, where 61% of the players are black, there are also now no black head coaches. Not after Vanderbilt fired Derek Mason last month.
It seems that those numbers have declined, and so part of our task will be to figure out why and then come up with solutions to trying to see if we can fix it.
Maryland head coach Mike Locksley is the founder of the National Coalition of Minority Football Coaches.
We want to do a great job of finding and vetting minority candidates that have the ability to be successful at the head coaching positions at all levels.
Locksley's strategy focuses on championing young coaches of color who can rise up through the college and NFL ranks, from graduate assistants to position coaches to coordinators to head coaches. The dearth of African-American coordinators is especially problematic. This year, there were fewer than a dozen black offensive coordinators in FBS, perpetuating a seemingly endless cycle of exclusion. For more on this subject, we are joined now by our old friend, the former head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs and the New York Jets, and now the head coach at Arizona State, Herm Edwards. Herm, thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Herm, we've talked about this in the past. What's going on here?
Well, I've always said this. In life, you have a social circle that you draw to when you try to gather information. And that's just everyone in walks of life. And I think when you think about the hiring process in football, whether it be in professional football or college football, who is in that social circle of influence? Who are the people you reach out to? And if that social circle seems to be people that all look alike, a lot of the information you gather is coming from the same sources. And with that being said, whether you like it or not, you don't get into depth of really a hiring process that kind of spans the whole, what I say, arena. I think another factor in this is that when you look at a lot of the hirings in today, either in pro football and well as college football, a lot of guys get hired as head coaches with this in mind. Does he have the ability to touch the quarterback, or is he on the offensive side of the ball? And when you look at that,
right,
whether it's in college or pro, there's that many people of color that are coaching the quarterback position or offensive coordinators. So that's a problem.
Yeah, that's one of the objectives that Mike Locksley, the head coach at Maryland, has with the National Coalition of Minority Coaches, promoting, championing, especially young African-American coaches on the offensive side of the ball. So what do we do? What needs to be done for this to change, Herm?
Well, like anything else, you have to get young men in your pipeline. They start at college level, the graduate assistants, and work their way up the ladder and put them in position eventually where they can be in position where they're a quarterback coach or an offensive coordinator. So you can groom them in a way that they have the ability to touch the quarterback, because most people now are offensive driven, and they want to know, can you fix the quarterback? Can you run an offense? Can you score points? I mean, when you just look at a lot of the hirings, I mean, whether it's a college or pro, how many defensive coaches are there that are head coaches? Not many.
Yeah, and Herm, like just this morning, right? You're at Arizona State, Arizona. The news coming this morning, Adam Schefter reporting, among others, that Jed Fish, the quarterback's coach for the Patriots, being hired at Arizona, replacing Kevin Sumlin. And I should say Jed Fish is white.
And you know, he's on the offensive side of the board. And if you look at our conference has done a pretty good job with diversity as far as head coaches. But when you really look at it, there's 12 jobs here in the Pac-12, and I want to say 4 of them are defensive coaches, and the rest of them are all offensive-minded coaches. Nothing wrong with that. I think, Jeremy, for me, this is what I've learned being groomed as a head coach under Tony Dungy. That the head coaching position is not a position whether you're an offense or defense. You're the leader of the team. You coach everybody. And I think sometimes we lose sight of that. You know, the head coach is a leader. He has to lead the offense, the defense, the special teams, as well as the players. It shouldn't really matter what side of the ball you coach. What should matter is he a leader of men? Does he have a vision for this program? To me, that's more important than what side of the ball you coach. And I think sometimes that gets lost in the interview process.
Herm, over the course of the next several weeks, athletic directors, college presidents, search committees, they're going to be making decisions about hires. What is your message to them about increasing diversity as they think about the next offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, head coach hire that they make?
I would tell them this. Look at the team and the players who are on the team and what do they look like. That's very important. What do they look like? What is the makeup of your football team? And who is going to be the best man to make sure that those players become the best version of themselves? That's important.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.